Hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening? Sorry about that. Had to clean my lens a little bit. Got it all dirty. Got it all dirty. Hold on a minute. Really messy there. That's just making it worse. All right, well, is what it is. How's everybody out there in YouTube land, huh? Oh, good evening this evening. Good evening this evening. Good day today. Good day today. Beautiful day here in Boot Key Harbor, Florida. As you can see, the sun is setting. The wind is out of the west. And so the sun is directly behind me. So it'll develop into a sunset as we move along. But let's look outside the other side of the harbor. There's old Bill over there on Lanicky. He's, I don't know, standing there with his ball cap. Say hello, Bill. I don't think he can hear me. There's some other boats back there behind us. I have a new neighbor behind me here. This boat here is a new guy just moved in. The trawler that was here left, and this guy has now moved in. Pretty nice looking boat to be honest with you. And then the boat that was here that was missing, that had been missing for the last couple of days, has been found. The crew is safe and sound. Took them a while to get across, but they are all safe and sound. They were in a spot where they had no internet service for a while, and they finally got to where they could reach out to family, friends, the coasties, and the word is that they made it over to the Bahamas without a problem, and so they're all fine, which is good. You know, we always like to keep tabs on our neighbors and those around us and what they're doing. So that said, let me see, I missed some stuff in the chat here. Hello, Marie, how are you? Hey, Andy, what's going on, man? Smoking, what is going on, Smoking? Hey, Johnny Hag. Oh, cool. Hello, everybody. Okay, recap of the day. What did I do? Got up this morning, very early, really early this morning. I don't know why. Just was up and at 'em this morning. Took Miss Lily in for her morning walk. Had our morning ablutions. Came back to the boat, had breakfast, listened to the morning net this morning, and then after the net, loaded up the laundry and the shower stuff and all the envelopes that I had to get mailed out. Had a couple boxes of them, and what else did I do? I don't know. I guess that was it. And away I went over to the marina this morning. Took my shower, did laundry, updated my iPad and my phone. There was a whole bunch of updates needing to be done. You know, my iPad, I really dislike my iPad. It doesn't, a lot of the apps on there don't necessarily show as being needed to be updated. But then when you go hit the icon for the app to come on, it then turns black and says waiting. And of course, since I am not on Wi-Fi on a regular basis, like ever, unless I go to the marina office, it doesn't update, it doesn't upload, it doesn't update itself. So, and it just stops working. I mean, that's it. It just won't, it will not work. The other day I was trying to fly my drone, and I, went all the way out to some place and got all set up and organized to fly my drone. Went to hit the DJI app on my phone, and it just came back saying waiting. Well, it was still waiting until I got to the marina office today and got it uploaded and finally updated. So, not happy with that, but that is what it is. Enjoyed a nice shower, got a laundry done, updated the iPad and the iPhone. Mailed all the stuff I needed to mail, dealt with some troll nonsense, and then had a couple quick games of dominoes, which we played today. Guys, I know some people say, "Oh, well, he needs money, he needs to go to work, he needs to get a job," which I've been working on trying to do. But I played dominoes for a little while. I was at a table with 4 beautiful women. Unfortunately for me, they were all married, but it's a great opportunity for me to meet folks and get to know new people. I sat down and played dominoes with 3 ladies that I'd never met or spoken to before, and so it was pretty cool to be able to meet some new friends I was sort of the odd duck out. There were four good-looking women and me playing dominoes. It was fun. I did win. So there's that. They were all teaming up against me, trying to conspire to take me down. You know, girl power and all that stuff. But I did persevere. So glad to see my my tactical thinking still works, I guess. So anyhow, back to the boat. Had dinner. I made myself a skillet of potatoes and onions, and that was it. Dealt with some orders online, and sadly that was it. That's the extent of my day. Just got done having dinner, and it was time to live stream. So here we are. So let me see what all I'm missing in the chat. Okay. Hey Gavin, smoking. Hey Pilot, what's up? Did you get the provision? Sorry if you already answered that. I've been buffering. Yes and no, Andy. Yes and no. I'll explain that here in a little bit. Beautiful 71 and clear sky here. Oh yeah, that's cool, Andy. It's about the same here actually. It's been clear, and it is. Oh, I don't know, somewhere in just under 80 degrees for the high today. I think we got to like 77, 78, something like that. And just a nice, really pleasant day today. Kind of warm, but as you can see, I have a little jacket on up here on the deck this evening, so I don't get chilled like I did yesterday. Although the wind's not blowing all that hard, so it shouldn't be too bad this evening. So. 2 right now. Working on getting my outside animals well fed and watered. Very cold tonight. Yeah, I understand that, Marie. Yep. Yep, time to move someplace warmer. So anyhow, provisioning. Okay, I did something a little different this week than I normally do. I got online and took advantage of Amazon and their free delivery, and I ordered some stuff to be delivered. I ordered dog food. Miss Lily's dog food is en route on its way here. It is not going to be here. She actually ran out of dog food today, so it's not going to be here today or tomorrow. So the question is, well, what's the dog going to eat? Guys, I've got so many milk bones and dog treats and stuff like that. I figured I'm just going to go ahead and use those for a couple of days. So, pretty new boat, huh? Pretty new boat.
You left.
I said the new neighbor here is pretty boat.
Yeah, that's one of the Joshua Slocums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lily, get back.
Yeah.
Lily, come here. Lily.
Girl.
Kennel.
Girl.
Kennel. I don't want you jumping off the boat. So what you up to, ma'am? Say hello to everybody. I'm live streaming for my YouTube channel.
Yeah, nothing much. We just got back from going up north, doing a lot of shopping.
Oh yeah, up Miami?
We just went to Florida City.
Oh, Florida City,
Got
okay.
everything we need right there.
Yeah.
All the box stores, everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're at Homestead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a nice drive.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much gas.
Nope. Nope. About 70 miles each way.
Yeah, we said we'd take that trip once a week. It was such a nice, easy trip until we came back the weekend of Friday of the New Year's Eve.
Oh gosh.
You should have seen the line.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, wall to wall, especially coming through Key Largo. You hit all the traffic.
Actually, the worst is Isle Morada twice.
Oh yeah.
Twice in Isle Morada, both ends.
Oh yeah.
And it breaks. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. It is pretty wild.
You just gotta sit back and relax and don't worry about it. You're right behind the next guy, and that's all you can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Jack. I'm on Windward up here.
Jack from Windward.
Leading the way with the gang here.
Leading the way. Yeah, you're the head of the row, aren't you?
No, not yet. No, the Katie Krogan is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So what kind of boat are you on?
Pearson 365, right in front of you.
The Pearson 365. That one right there. That one right there. Yeah, beautiful boat.
All right, I get residuals.
You get
I
residuals.
get residuals. Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
go for that.
Call my agent.
All right, man. You have a good day.
Take care.
Take care. All right. Oh, that's my neighbor up on the, well, next door neighbor over there. Oh, I met Jack and his wife the other day. Good folks. Good folks. And as you can see, Miss Lily gets pretty animated whenever somebody drops by and hangs out and chats for a little bit. Always fun. So, if you're flying the drone, I hope it's for real estate. Hey, Dave Marshall, how you doing? Actually, in that particular time, I was flying the drone to do a YouTube video, not non-real estate, but yes, there will be getting flown doing more real estate stuff here in the near future. So, give her whatever you eat. It's only one day. Yeah, well, actually, I couldn't give her what I had for dinner tonight, Andy. I made up a skillet of bacon, potatoes, and onions, and that's not good for the dog. But she did get 2 handfuls of milk-bone dog biscuits, a handful of chicken jerky stuff, and a handful of these like peanut butter dog biscuit things too. So she got a little special diet today. So she's fine. She's fine. And she cleaned it all up. She ate every bit of it. So there is some dry dog food still in her dog dish. There's not like a whole meal's worth. She's still got a little kibble left in there, but she's eating so much junk food today that yeah, that's what I call it, doggy junk food. So she's having fun with that today. So she's all right. She's doing fine. So I know you can't say. Yeah, Dave, I'm not talking too much about that stuff, but everyone is so nice there. Andy, it's a great community, brother. It really is a great community. So, yep. Smoking, and you know, you touched on a very interesting thing there, Smoking. Lily likes Jack, must be a good guy. Dogs are really intuitive about people. I have found that to be true. They are really intuitive about people. There are some people that Lily just adores, and there's other people she wants nothing to do with. And I have found that to me is a good indicator of you know, their character, so or lack thereof. So anyhow, Lily looks perky. She is not good people too, but delicious. I went to the cardiologist today. He gave me till February 8th. He gave you to February 8th. Pilot to what? Pay your bill? February 8th for your next appointment? Come on, guy. Are you serious? What do you mean by that? To have some tests today. Okay. So you went and you had some tests today from your cardiologist. Are you having cardiac issues? Done. Okay. Hey, Bill. How you doing, brother? I said hello to you a little bit ago, Bill, but I guess you didn't hear me. You was monkeying around with stuff. Anyhow. Hey, so Bill, what do you think about this beautiful boat here behind me on P2, huh? That's a nice looking boat. That's a spray design. Pretty neat boat. He's got a couple of radar reflectors up, and he's got radar, and he's got a wind generator, and he's got solar panels. Very together looking boat. So hey, Maniac. Hey, Grandma's Homestead. What are you up to? So, Pilot, you didn't answer. Are you okay, man? Stress test on the 8th. I better study. Yeah, well, I'm sure the missus gives you plenty to be stressed about, so we've been stowing provisions. Yeah, you getting ready to head out pretty soon, huh, Bill? You're stowing provisions. You're trying to lower your water line again. Huh? What kind of test, Pilot? Little bit of update on stuff with Larry yesterday. I guess they've got his funeral scheduled, and where's Bill headed? I don't know where Bill's headed. I think he's heading over to the Bahamas, to be honest with you. I think he's heading over to the Bahamas. But most people aren't going over the Bahamas till like March. But I don't know. Bill may make the jump early. Anyhow, they've got Larry's funeral scheduled. He's going to have a military funeral. So they got that stuff taken care of. And I guess my boys were over helping their mom out the last day, yesterday and today, going through all the stuff and finding all the documents and stuff that she needed, and just being there for her, which was great. I'm glad to hear that. So she was actually in a pretty chipper mood today, but she kind of got to me. My family's got a family cemetery plot. We've got, I don't know why, my dad, at the local cemetery down from our farm there in Ohio, my dad bought 8 cemetery plots. It's sort of a funny story behind it. I guess our neighbors, we were visiting our neighbors. This is, oh gosh, 40 years ago. I mean, seriously, like 40 years ago when I was a kid, we were visiting the neighbors. And the neighbors were telling my mom and dad that if they were thinking about getting cemetery plots down at the church down the road from our property, that they ought to do so now because the price of the cemetery lots was going to double. They were going to double in price. And so mom and dad's like, well, I guess we should go do that, you know. So they went down and spoke with the people, Roger Garrett and his wife. Actually, at that point, it was Roger's dad. So that was Ern Garrett and his wife. Willie, get down. Get down. Anyhow, they went down and talked to old Ern Garrett and his wife. And sure enough, they were doubling the price of the cemetery plots because of the increased cost in fuel and stuff back then. It was, you know, cost them more to maintain the cemetery, and they just needed more money to help cover their expenses. So they were going to double the price. So my dad asked, okay, well, how much is a plot? Well, they were doubling the price from $5 to $10. So dad reaches into his wallet. Apparently he had $80 cash in his wallet, so he bought 8 lots. True story. He bought 8. So my mom was always trying to figure out either he's really social and wants all the family buried with him, or he's really antisocial and doesn't want anybody else near him. We never were sure, and Dad never owed up or fessed up to either inclination, but nonetheless, Mom and Dad are buried there. That's 2 of the 8. There's 6 spots available. I don't know if any of my sisters have any inclination to or desire to be buried there. But anyhow, Johanna contacted me today, and since Larry's being buried in a I guess he was being buried in some sort of a military type cemetery. She wanted to know if it was okay for her to be buried in our family plot over there, so that way she could be around people who cared about her. And man, that touched my heartstrings. Whew. That really did, you know. I mean, Johanna and I aren't husband and wife anymore, but I have a lot of respect for that lady. She's the mother of my kids, and so I'm going to check with my sisters. I don't perceive it as being a problem, but we'll see. So I'd like to be able to work that out for her, because I think she would have, you know, she'd be at ease with that information. So, howdy. We'll see. We'll see how all that pans out. All in good time. All in good time. How's the sunset developing over there? Yeah, it's still a little bright. Still a little bright. Got to let it get down a little bit more. Oh, there you can get it. My head's sort of blocking the brightness. Kind of pretty back there. All right, so where are we at in the chat? Let me see what I missed here. Oh, you're doing the treadmill thing. Okay. Not too bad. Just normal provisions for now. Plan to cross the stream to Bahamas the end of February. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you were saying. End of February, March, somewhere in there. Smoking ballast, not good on a catamaran. That's right. Lighter the better. Yep. Yeah, I would be the latter. Okay, that was nice of Doug to come on last night. Yeah, pilot, and I understand that he contacted Johanna. I guess Johanna really read him the riot act the last time he contacted her, because a lot of what he was saying was out of line as far as, you know, he was misrepresenting information about Johanna and I. So Johanna really read him the riot act, I guess, and so at least that's what she conveyed to me. But she said he did message her and expressed his condolences. And so that's good. That showed a little glimmer of good character on his part. But at this point, as far as I'm concerned, Doug's got a lot to apologize for before before too much more is going to be going on in that direction. So, but yeah, I was civil about it. So, good people can disagree, Paul. Yep, that's true. Good people can disagree. So, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go into that. Let's just move along. So, anywho, beautiful evening out here on the harbor, guys. Just look at this. Hardly a breath of wind. Chilly, but not really cold. You know, it's not a real biting wind. It's just sort of a, you know, a nice little air movement going through. Just the slightest of breezes blowing through right now. And you see how nice you're getting some nice colors and stuff with my head blocking the light. But if I raise it up, that sun just sort of burns out everything. Well, that's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. It's gotten down just low enough now, I think, that we're starting to get a little protection there. So there's a nice sunset for you guys. Go ahead and get your screenshots in. Sun setting over the harbor. Beautiful, huh? Anyhow. So when I was talking about before provisioning, there we go. When I was talking before about provisioning, I am embracing Amazon Prime. I had ordered some envelopes on, what was it, Monday. Sunday night I had ordered some envelopes. They were here today. Today, or actually last night, I ordered Lily's dog food. It's going to be here tomorrow, I understand. Tomorrow, possibly the next day, but probably tomorrow. So it's like, you know, you order it next day, it's here. And at a price, every bit as good as what we get at the grocery store. So rather than me have to spend 12 bucks to taxi, well, or 6 bucks just to taxi, walk over and then taxi back, I just call up and order it on Amazon. I don't have to go anywhere. I get to just, you know, they deliver it to the marina office. I just pick it up at the marina office and bring it back to here. I don't have to schlep all that stuff all the way over to Publix and back. So it made sense to me. So, and I found a soldier in the bottom of the refrigerator today. I cleaned out the fridge and found one last beer. So, Pilot, there you go, my friend. I don't know why, guys. Pilot and I have this little weird thing about opening up beers in each other's ears. So, I just said it was nice, nothing to be inferred. Okay. Prime rocks. Yes, it does. I use Prime all the time. Worth the extra cost. Actually, it wasn't any other extra cost. The price of the dog food was cheaper, actually, through Amazon than it was going into the grocery store. So, Prime suits your lifestyle. It does, Marie. It really does. I mean, you know, instead of having to walk all the way over the grocery store. There's a couple heavy items that I buy. I buy my, you know, beer and my seltzer waters, which come in 12 packs. I can buy them just about as cheaply through Amazon and have Amazon deliver it. Not beer, but the seltzer water. And that's the heavy item that I buy, and I buy dog food. That's the other heavy item that I buy. And, you know, if I can buy those and have those delivered, then I could actually walk over and get my groceries and walk back and not have to spend any money for the taxi. It's having to schlep the 12 packs of seltzer water and bags of dog food that makes that impractical. So I've got a two-story backpack thing that I have that I could easily pack all my groceries in, save for like bread and eggs, which I could carry that in a bag so they don't get crushed. But I could put 90% of the stuff in my little insulated backpack that I got. Oh, it's a big backpack, but insulated backpack. So, and save the cab fare and get good exercise at the same time. as long as I get the dog food and the seltzer water delivered. So, but anyhow, yeah. The account, my account was down to next to nothing. Fortunately, one of my good friends on here, one of my good supporters, had donated some money and told me to do some provisioning. So I ordered the dog food and went ashore today with the idea that I was going to walk over to Publix and pick up the rest of my groceries that I needed. And somewhere during the day today, Adobe, who I subscribe to have my editing software for working on videos and stuff, hit my account up and took a third of the money. So I was like, oh crap, okay, so I had to back down to 20 bucks in the account. Oh well, at least I got dog food coming. At least I got dog food coming. So I'm gonna have to do some more provisioning here pretty soon. But I don't know. I did hear today. I did get a call today from one of the places that I applied to. They informed me that overqualified. You know, not exactly what they were looking for, but at least they were courteous enough to respond and say, you know, what was. At least they were responded. You know, it's a lot of these others I've applied to and never even heard a word back from them. At least these guys had the guts to call me up and say, hey, I'm sorry, but you know, you're just way overqualified. We're looking for. They didn't say a younger man, but they were looking for someone starting their career, not ending it, is the way he phrased it. So, I don't know. I still think that's age discrimination, but whatever. I can't do nothing about it. Roll with the punches. So we persevere. For Prime membership, okay. Hopefully it's not coming from China. Yeah, Martin, isn't that the truth? Actually, Martin, I already got it's already been shipped, and it's going to be here tomorrow, according to their. Originally, when I ordered it, they said it was going to be here on Thursday. Now it looks like it's going to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so there's an Amazon fulfillment center here in the Miami area, so they get stuff out pretty quick, pretty darn quick. In fact, some of the ladies that I was playing dominoes with earlier today were talking about Amazon. They had received some packages today. All the Amazon shipment, the Amazon delivery came in at about 1:30 while we were in the middle of our dominoes game, which started at 1. And they were all commenting on how quickly the stuff got to them that they had just ordered, and here it was, you know, and of course sorting through their boxes and looking at all the goodies that they had gotten in, you know. So it was sort of interesting. One woman had ordered some cutting boards, and those had come in for her, and you know, they were much better quality than what she expected, and the price was right. So yeah, Amazon Prime is a good thing to be a member of. Get a pull wagon or a wheelbarrow. 6'7", I do have a little cart that I can pull behind me. I do have a little cart that I can use. So Adobe Cloud is great. Yeah, the Adobe Creative Cloud. I've got the minimal thing with them right now. I just have the Premiere Pro. I don't have the entire Creative Cloud right now. That's like 50 bucks a month. I have just Premiere Pro, and I think they dinged my account for like $24, if I remember correctly, 23 and change. Just under $24 is how much they dinged my account for today for that. So I gotta make a note on my account to remember what days they hit that. They're inconsistent with it. They don't really quit. They don't do it on the same day. Beautiful sunset there, guys. Look at that. I'm not hearing any concords tonight. Guess everyone's busy. Beautiful sunset right there. Just beautiful. Huh. Oh, see that? I just said I haven't heard any concords, and what do I hear? A concord. How cool is that? So, yep. Oh, I got an email. Yes. Nope. Where'd it go? It disappeared. Did I find what I was looking for? Oh. Huh. All right. Well, anyhow. I get some weird stuff. And I got coaches trying to contact me for my free coaching appointment. Yeah, right. There's a lot of these people that have a living coaching realtors on how to sell real estate. And I can hear two different conchorns, one over there and one over there. And they're almost the same note. This one over here is just a little flat. That one over there sounds like it's in tune. That one sounds just a little flat. Pretty cool. Although that one is the guy that's got a lot of lungs, because he just quit. That was a long one. I don't know. Can you guys hear them on the phone? I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. Probably not so well with me running off in the mouth with my verbal diarrhea, but cold weather up here is a good time to pick homeless chicks. There you go. Check your cardio doctor first. Yep. Never understood overqualified. If someone will work for a job for the wage you offer, and being overqualified is a bonus to the employer. You would think, Gavin, you would think. About retention, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and Andy, I think you're correct. I think, if they're going to go through the time and trouble to train me for the position, yes, Smoke, and I need a conch. If they're going to go through the time and trouble of training me and getting me up to speed, some new job, depending on the level of the job, whether it's, obviously if I'm working as a cashier at a fast food place or whatever, it takes all of about 4 hours maybe to get someone perfectly trained. But if I'm training to become a new regional manager for XYZ or whatever, it can take 4 to 6 months before somebody really gets on their feet and gets going. Just like real estate, it takes a while to get a real estate office up and going and get the marketing out there and make the contacts and do the branding and. This isn't one of those kind of jobs where you think to yourself, oh, well, I'm going to go work this week. I put in my 40 hours. Where's my paycheck? It don't happen that way. Anybody that works that kind of a job is not going to have a really great paycheck. It's those people that are willing to go above and beyond, put in all the time, effort, and energy, invest all that time, effort, and energy with that hopes that at some point you're going to get compensated for that. To me, that's always been where the real money is at, and I think that's true today, as it is in anything. It's certainly true in my occupation. So, oh, geez, what a beautiful night out here, man. Huh. Yeah, Marie, I don't know. Can Marie see Woodbeast? I don't know. Woodbeast is asking. Marie, can you see me? Huh. But I think you're thinking of retention, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Yes, why? Okay. I guess she can see you. Okay. Or she blocked you. Well, I don't know. One or the other. Woodbeast has been trying to get a hold of you, Marie. I don't know why. He just asked if you could see him. Maybe he made a comment and you didn't respond to it. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to all that. So, all right, tomorrow, big day tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm making videos, real estate marketing videos, stuff for my Facebook and for my YouTube channel. Sort of branding type videos, talking about why people should list with me and different things that I'll give you an example of one video I'm doing. One video I'm going to do is a video on what is a reverse offer, not a counter offer, but a reverse offer, and it is something that's not a normal thing in real estate. Inexperienced agents who don't have experience, or the cojones to accept the market for what it is, not what they want it to be, I'll give you an example. Um, when I was in Montana, I was working on selling a property there, or buying a property there. It was a house that was on the market for 1.8, if I remember correctly, it was $1.8 million. They were selling a property for a beautiful, beautiful home there. And I had clients that we went over and we looked at the property, and they were talking about making an offer on the property. And the listing agent, the agent that had the house listed at the time, came back and was very assertive and made it very clear to both me and my clients that the seller wasn't going to accept anything but a full price offer. Now, I don't know if she did that because of her own ego, or if she did that just trying to push people to come in with a better offer, or what her motivation was, but she wasn't a real skilled realtor. And in fact, as negotiations went on, because we did come back in with not a low offer, but we ended up buying the property for 1.6. But we came in, I think, at 1.4 and then worked our way up to 1.6. As it turns out, the sellers of that property got very upset with their agent, and in fact, at one point during the middle of our transaction, fired her and instructed her that they instructed their title company and their insurance company that all communications were to be with me alone and not with their own real estate agent. She kind of ticked them off because of her attitude, but what they informed me is that they would have gladly had taken our offer, but were surprised at how many people had looked at their property but never bothered making an offer. They said they had lots and lots of people come through and look at the house when they had it listed at 1.8. But nobody would make any offers on it. They never got a single offer, just people looking. And so they were concerned about that. And I explained to them, I said, well, our experience is the agent came back and told us that you weren't going to accept anything but a full price offer. And he was like, well, that's not true. In fact, he had instructed her that he was very interested in taking an offer at like 1.6. It's on the market at 1.8. He wanted to sell it. And it's not abnormal for properties to sell at 80 to 90% of listing value. And as a buyer of a property, you should not be embarrassed about coming in with any offer on a property. I don't care what the offer is, how ridiculous. Make an offer. You never know what happens. Sometimes you can insult people. There are some people that will be insulted and will shut down on you if you make too low of an offer. But if you make an offer of 80% of the asking price, you're in the ballpark. You're in the ballpark. So to come in with a 1.4 offer on a 1.8 property, we were a little outside of the ballpark, but I got cojones, so we made the offer as politely and nicely as we could. There were other mitigating factors, like the fact that the buyers were all cash. They had no mortgage. They didn't want to do an inspection. They were just going to buy it as is, all cash. So there were other mitigating factors, but we ended up buying it for 1.6. So that's where a reverse offer would have come in, because what that agent should have been doing, she had that property on the market for a couple of years, but she had been telling everybody that she had to have full price, and so a lot of people looked at it and never bothered making offers, which time is money, folks. So, howdy. There's Jack's wife there going by. Hello. They're returning back to their boat. And anyhow, what their agent, if their agent had more experience, what she should have been doing is she should have been going when she had 1 or 2 or 3 showings without an offer. She should have gotten back to those people with a reverse offer and said, hey, we've had some people show it. Nobody's made an offer of full price. We'd like to make an offer to your buyers, if they're interested at, and come up with a number, even if they're asking 1.8 and they come back at 1.75, showing some inclination to work with people. That kind of stuff is where you get the conversation going, you get people talking, You got to communicate. To put up this wall saying we're absolutely not going to accept anything but full price, it's just closed the door on her client and ended up ruining things for her. So no, Bermuda Sun, that would not be a counteroffer. A counteroffer is they make an offer and then we counter it with another offer. That's a counteroffer. A reverse offer is people have looked at the house, maybe they've come back for a second showing of the house, but never made an offer. Those are the people that you know are motivated and, okay, goodbye. Those are the people that are motivated and need to be properly dealt with. And so you make a reverse offer to them. You say, okay, well, you know, we were asking 1.8. You looked at it. For whatever reason, you didn't buy it or make an offer at 1.8. We'd like to offer it to you at 1.75. Get the conversation going. Then that, in hopes, you're hoping at that point they come back and say, well, you know, I was really thinking more like 1.4 or whatever. And you'd be like, okay, well, let me take that back to my client and see what they say. And you go back to your client, they say, well, you said 1.75, they said 1.74 or 1.4. Let's go back with, you know, 1.675. And so you come back at 1.675 and they're like, well, you know, we could go maybe 1.5. And so you go back to your client, okay, they're not gonna do that. Well, let's go 1.625. You know, kind of holding in that 1.6 number, and they come back and say, well, look, the most we're going to go is 1.6, and okay, you already know your guy's going to go 1.6, and you have a deal. That's how you work a reverse offer. And but you know, the problem is a lot of inexperienced agents are afraid to do that kind of thing, and they shouldn't be, because that's what you're getting paid for. The reason top realtors get paid good money is because they sell the property. They do what they have to do to put the deal together. The art of the deal, as the Don would have called that. It's just, you know, finding out what the mitigating factors are, finding out what people's motivations are, and being able to, you know, to lace all that together to make things happen. So that's a lot of money. You know, Andy, really in today's day and age, it's not. So she sounds a lot like my ex without the real estate part. Yeah, right. Yeah, and really in today's market, Andy, that's really not a lot. It's really not a lot. You know, it just depends on what you're accustomed to. Yeah, if you're out in the Midwest or something, that's a lot of money. You know, they're accustomed to you know, high-end homes selling for $500,000 or $600,000. Down here in the Florida Keys, yeah, $2 million, nothing. $2 million for a house is nothing down here. I mean, there's a lot of houses down here in the Florida Keys. In fact, I sent marketing letters out today to houses that were in the 8, 10, 12, and $15 million price range. So, you know, and you'd be surprised. You know, that person who lives in a $15 million, or doesn't even live there, spends a couple weeks out of the year in his $15 million second house down here in the Florida Keys. You know, that guy puts his pants on the same way as you or I do, one leg at a time. They're just a normal person like anybody else. They've been more successful for whatever reason in accumulating wealth, but you know, they're no different than you and I. They all have the same problems. So yeah, you can't be intimidated by that. Good luck trying to sell a new car with that attitude. Pilot, are you talking to me? Good luck trying to sell a new car with that attitude. I'm not trying to sell cars. Are reverse offers verbal or written? Would be, if it's not in writing, it didn't happen, is the general rule of thumb that I go by in real estate. However, it depends on my comfort level with the other agent that I'm working with, and how ethical and responsible they are. We can discuss things and come together with a verbal, but that very quickly has to be put in writing to solidify. Oh, Canadian goose just flew overhead. I haven't seen a Canadian goose yet down here. That's the first one I've seen. It's by itself. Surprised to see one this far south, huh? It just depends on the other agent you're working for. All offers should be in writing. And in fact, if they're not in writing, I won't say they're not enforceable. They are. A verbal offer and acceptance is enforceable. But boy, it's a hard road to go. Having something in writing is the best way to do that. So Always put everything in writing. Now, that's not to say we may not agree to something verbally now, but I can assure you I'll have the right paperwork in their hand within the hour to get their signature on that to solidify the deal. And I explained to whoever I'm representing, buyer, seller, usually seller, that, you know, we have an agreement, but you know, don't count your chickens until we get everything signed, sealed, and delivered. And even then, when it's real estate, you know, even when you have a signed offer, there are so many other contingencies and stuff that are dealt with today that allow them a door to step out of the, you know, whether or not they get financing, whether the title report comes back clean, whether the property is insurable, their lawyer's opinion of the transaction. There's a lot of things that are written into buy-sell agreements that allow them having an inspection done on the property, and the property, you know, meeting muster. You know, there's a lot of variables that can affect that. So, but yeah, it's best to have it in writing. That way everybody understands, and we have all the terms written down, so nobody can come back and say, oh, but I thought. But you're still going to get that in writing. Don't forget, just because you have it in writing, people don't read. People don't read. I'm amazed at how often I will sit down with people, go to a real estate closing, you know, selling a $1 million property. People will go and sit down at the title office with the closing officer, and that closing officer will hand them a stack of 50 or 60 pages of papers and documents, and they'll just go sign here, flip, sign here, flip, sign here, and people will just sign, and don't read a damn thing. They don't read any of it. It's you know, in my entire career, I can only think of about 4 or 5 times where I've had somebody actually sit down and say, no, you know, give me the closing documents, let me read them before I come to the closing. I've only had that happen 4 or 5 times. For the most part, they just come in, they accept that the realtors and the title companies are doing whatever's supposed to be done correctly, and they'll just sit there and sign. Usually without even caring what the documents are, they just go through and sign stuff. So it's actually kind of scary and a little foolish on their part, but you know, I understand people are just excited about getting the transaction done, and just they'll sign and just get stuff moved on. So let's see here. A lot of dollars to me. Yeah, well, it's a lot of dollars to anybody, man. Not much for 300 grand anymore. Nope, you don't. You don't. 1 million here, 1 million there. Pretty soon it adds up to real money. Yeah, right, Codger? Shoot it for dinner. I just videoed my new car purchase. Oh, there you go, Woodbeast. Cool. To quote Donald Trump, it's only money. It's just a way of keeping score. Ditto on if not written, it didn't happen. Yep, kind of, that's right. Yep. Written and on video. There you go. As a Canadian, I don't blame that goose for going south. Yeah, right. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Got 4 inches of snow. Wow, that's crap. Read by an attorney. Yep. Seen some buyers bring their attorney to the closing to verify documents. Yep, good idea. I fell through a rotten roof yesterday. It messed me up. Very sore. Oh, Ed, sorry to hear that, man. I am sorry to hear that. Ow. My foot's falling asleep. I gotta turn around. I could only sit in that position for just so long, and then my feet go numb. My one foot, just my right foot, gets the nerve caught. Just not at the right angle. Beautiful like that, huh? Beautiful sunset happening here. So, what all I missed in the chat? Just above freezing for the 4th day. At least it's not been raining. Cool, Martin. Yeah, well, it's well above freezing here. I mean, it's cool enough that I have a jacket on up here on deck, but it's been a pretty nice day today. Pretty nice day all day. So, needed a jacket first thing this morning when I took Lily ashore. Need a jacket now. But it was, other than that, it was t-shirt weather all day today. So, anyhow, so I'm making a video about, you know, what is a reverse offer, and you know, just putting it out there, sort of a you know, example of the kind of thinking that an experienced real estate agent has that an inexperienced real estate agent doesn't have. Because what's happened here in the Florida Keys is that there's and I'm directing a lot of my marketing to properties that have been on the market and for whatever reason did not sell. And for the most part, these are pretty frustrated people. You know, they listed their property with a realtor maybe a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, whatever. And that realtor worked on trying to sell their house for 6 months or a year. Hopefully it got shown a couple of times, although I've heard some real horror stories about people that listed a property and never even got a showing. But, you know, maybe it got showed a couple of times. Well, if it got showed a couple of times and no offer was made, why didn't their agent approach them with the idea of making a reverse offer? You know, put a deal together, make something happen, make it happen. That's how things get done successfully in real estate, is you make it happen. You don't sit back on your laurels and wait. If you've got somebody who's willing to come look at a property for the second time, they're interested in that property. And if you've got a seller who's interested in selling, which most of them are, not all, but most, you know, then work it out, figure it out, put the time, effort, energy into it and get it done. So anyhow, we'll see. Yep, Ed, I hope you're feeling better. That's true. Coldest weather I've been in was near Chicago, circa 1983. Actual temperature is minus 27 degrees with minus 80 degree wind chill. Yeah, Codger, I could believe that. When do you anticipate your first sale? Would be, you know, for a lot of reasons, I don't want to go into those kind of dates. Anytime I do something like that, you know, I hear all the trolls go, oh, you said you were going to have it, but yeah. So I try to avoid putting myself in that kind of a box. But, you know, I'm hoping here in the next 90 days or so. I think 90 to 120 days, somewhere in that neighborhood. But you can understand where I don't want to, you know, make any broad statements that are going to come back and bite me in the butt later on. So, or because they'll misinterpret anything I say anyway. So I'm not going to go there. After you ripped 10 yesterday, his GPS won't even talk to him. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's not talk about that, pilot. In fact, guys, I've tried to adopt it as a rule not to discuss those things. Sometimes I find it necessary to clarify on some things, but let's just try to move on and not worry about them, okay? Yeah, soaking in Epsom salt would help. That's true. Okay. I was a paper boy in Chicago as a youngster, many cold mornings. Oh, I imagine you would, yeah. Oh, yeah, jump. Okay, yeah, thanks, Smoking. I appreciate you doing that, taking care of that. We don't need that kind of behavior on here. Poor dog. She's looking at the sunset because, as you could probably hear the barking, there's a dog up there barking at her. Isn't it? Are they barking at you? Are they barking at you? Are they woofing at you? Are they woofing at you? Go get them. Go get them. Go woof at them. Go woof at them. Go on, go get them. No, she's not going to get riled up. She's not going to get riled up. So, I miss Chicago pizza. Yeah. Oh, and I miss good New York pizza. Oh, sorry, guys. Yep. She hears that other dog barking, so she went up on the bow to bark back at him. Or just to stare at him, just to look at him. Huh. Anyhow, kids, as you can tell, it's getting pretty dark out here. Listen, guys, we have to do this, you know, help pay the bills and take care of stuff. So I'm going to put it out there that we could really use some funds. I still have been meaning to get more provisions in. I really need to do a major provisioning, guys. I really need to do a major provisioning. We're running out of food here on the boat. I just ordered dog food for Lily, but we're really getting low on stuff. I've been pilfering the cabinets for a while now and taking stuff down, but I really need to get some stuff stocked back up and get things going the other way. So if anybody out there can kick in and help out, please do. Hit the PayPal up. We would certainly appreciate it. And if you can't, well, you know, that's fine too. I understand, but if you can, boy, now'd be a good time. So we would certainly appreciate the assistance, and you know that I'm doing everything I can to try to get things going here and turned around so we don't have to worry about it anymore. So We'll see. Anyhow, kids, with that said, you be good, you be careful, take good care of one another. Remember, in the description down below, there's a link to my PayPal should you want to contribute to the adventure. Again, all donations greatly appreciated. So, who is this gypsy? Okay. Anyhow, if you can donate, I appreciate it. So, we will have